Because I actually have some griffins spread out around the forge because I was like, oh man, no, I really need a griffin. Oh shit, now I'm gonna fly 8 jumps to get one.
There you go. Alliance tournament shenanigans run deep. But
Yeah,
again, these guys do not have any need for that because they were on Thunderdome, and that really lowers the barrier to entry for a lot of these teams. I do love this format, So for those of you unaware or just joining pretty recently, the way the Alliance tournament is seeded this year, unlike any other year, the top 16 teams from last year get directly invited in. Um, of those 16, 15 opted to go for it, and the next 17 teams were done through silent auction. So you basically go to CCP, you say, I'm auctioning 8,000 Plex to get in here, and then CCP goes through it, takes the 15 highest Plex donations, says, okay, you guys are in. So that's 32 teams sorted. For the rest of the 32 teams, they say, okay, we're going to do this feeder round. And that's what this is. 56 teams entered, but since it's on Thunderdome, you don't really have to spend ISK to do it. It's kind of fun. You get to do clowny stuff. You get to have a good old time. I personally love it because I get to see ridiculous fits. Like we saw two Bellicoses win today. I don't know if that ever happens in life or in Eve, but we saw that, and we saw Navy Ravens win. It's just a wild time. So 32 teams of these 56 will be going into joining the teams for Alliance Tournament 15, and 28 of those teams, basically every team that wins here, gets directly invited into the Alliance Tournament. The teams that lose, the 28 teams that lose, have to face tomorrow over 3 rounds, and they only 4 of them make it through. So 28-4, that's pretty brutal, and we've got some pretty great teams in the losers bracket here, actually. Well, I mean, great teams. We got some good teams in the losers bracket, but we got 30 minutes to match start, so I'm going to pass it over to the commentators, Thomas and Tan. So take it away, boys.
all right, thank you very much, Elise. So, as we said, these comps are super duper interesting. I can't tell if the match has just started, but we've just seen boosts go off.
Match is starting in 1 second, and it has begun.
All right, amazing. So now we're going to get to see what this drone team goes for. These teams both jockey for position. They are relatively close together here, probably a bit too close for that kite team's liking, as they start to put E-Ward down on the Aneros and Crucifier, keeping as much support away from them as they can.
Yeah, as you can see, these Hurricanes and these Fleet Hurricanes and these Cerberuses and Caracals are just burning in, trying to get close enough to range so that they can apply all the damage. As you cannot see on the stream, the flights of drones are now flying over the abyss and are now circling around this Caracal.
Yeah, now the question is that Caracal going to make the call to move away? So that these drones are going to have to spend as long as possible catching back up to the rest after he goes down, because I don't think there's any way this Caracal's going to survive long term. You can see there he's got like 10% shields left as the Punisher of Erasmus goes down.
Yeah, this Caracal is now burning back towards its logistics, trying to kite all the drones away. It's popping up to about 15% shields now. As you can see, it's just slowly catching reps because these Praetors aren't applying as much damage at the speed he's going. The Vexen Navy issue of Soren Sikir, I can't even say his name, is now currently being shot. It's receiving reps, but it's just not holding.
Yeah, this is some really interesting choices here, but I think they're good. We're seeing this kite comp go directly in. They realize that they are going to be doing that. They can't kite these drones. There's no way that they can get out of the range of them within the arena. So their best bet is to go in, get in at 0, and just apply as much damage as humanly possible to the enemy team. And you can see them here starting to try and apply to that scimitar as their Caracal goes down. The first loss there, the Brotherhood of Spaces team.
By the looks of it, these Cerberuses and the Gilas are all on reload. That's why you're not seeing this Vexen Navy go down. But a Punisher is also being shot as all the drones are currently on the scimitar. It's trying to kite away, trying to keep itself boosted up, but it is slowly going down.
Oh yeah, it's so close here. It's bleeding armor damage. It can't have very many charges left in its ASP. If it's ASP fit, there's only a couple of rep drones as well on it, so it's not going to have a huge sustain tank like we've seen from other comps in the past. Once that thing goes down out of shields, it's probably not getting back up there again. And as it goes down, they're still putting damage somehow on the caracal of Rennie Morgan.
Yeah, it looks like there's a flight on the caracal, but the person who has that flight must be out of range of the scimitar, because the scimitar's just gone down. The berserkers have finally caught up to it. It's finally got hit and it's dropping down.
Yeah, I just got to ask, where is target switching here from the Brotherhood of Spaces team? They know they can't break this Vex and Navy issue. They have to go on this Aneros. They have to start taking it down, or they're not going to be able to win.
This Oneros currently has EC300 sitting on it. They're just trying to buzz around and try and get it jammed at least once, which isn't going to work as well as you hope, because the Oneros has enough mid shots to fit that ECCN, and it's just going to stay alive and keep repping that Vex and Navy.
And they've got 2 EOSs, and the EOSs can be fitting as many links as they want. They could have info links on there, and that Simi tried to. That Simi just evaporated because it was trying to kite the drones but didn't quite succeed. And the Cerberus, oh my god, look at how fast that's going down.
Yeah, with no logistics alive now to keep it up, the Cerberus is just melting. But we're seeing drone target switching. They've dropped off the Cerberus now, and they're going for someone. No, I'm sorry. The Cerberus used the micro jump unit in the center of the arena to boost 100 km away and stay alive, and that worked because the Vex and Navy issue of Replica is down, and he still lives.
Yeah, you can see that big blob of drones has moved away from him, going onto the Hurricane fleet issue now. So that's a huge amount of time from them wasted, a huge amount of DPS. Even if that Hurricane fleet issue goes down, and he's still going to be able to shoot from over there. That is amazing individual piloting, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they go onto the Ishtar of Icy Midnight.
Yeah, as somebody in the arena is firing fireworks as this hurricane goes down. The Ishtar is finally getting shot by Icy Midnight. The pilot called Jesus Christ in the Cerberus has just flown back in, is now starting to apply damage again. As there's 5 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, the Brotherhood of Space is going to have to pull something out of the bag here. They are at both a points disadvantage and a tempo disadvantage. The Elf Sound Mind team has the sustain advantage, and they have the tank advantage. They've got a lot of EHP that they need to burn through, and not very much DPS to do it.
As you say that, the Punisher is starting to take a little bit of damage as well, as now the Ishtar receives reps. So not the Punisher, the Crucifier is taking damage as well as the Ishtar. There seems to be split damage here. As this Fleet Hurricane drops into structure, it's being painted by something as it finally goes down.
Yeah, it's unfortunate here, just leaving them with 4 cruisers and a carries, no sustain, and it looks like that healer is also being tackled. Mute's going down on it. That's going to turn off its MWD, hopefully. No, it seems like it managed to pull away as the carry else goes down there. I didn't see what it was.
The Crucifier finally dropped, and I can confirm these EOSs are fit with target painters in the mids. So when you're seeing things target painted, it is these EOSs which are just using their massive drone bay and their lots of spare mid slots as their armor tank to fit a load of utility.
Yeah, these guys need to spread out a lot more than they are now. They're just trying to make it so that the drones have to travel as far as possible between them. Yeah, and they're not putting damage on anything.
He's MJDing. He's now 100 km away from everything left. Jebediah Toffet finally lives. The drones are kind of screaming towards him, but he's given himself 10-15 seconds to stay alive, apply the last of the DPS as the drones have finally selected a different target.
Yeah, to give them props for playing with their environment well, but I think their calls have crippled them here. Not a single bit of damage put on that Aneros. They're just relying on that carry to do all the work for them. But the carries, they're bundled up here. They're all in one little small section. Reps can continually be applied.
Yeah, I think the sound team has done very well by keeping together. Like you said, they're all in a tight ball. It just allows it so that they can. There's not a lot of travel time if they get something scrammed. As the Gila finally goes down, the next one is being focused. It's dropping into armor now. It's bending away, but it doesn't look like it's going to survive long enough.
No, just there we see it falling down pretty much instantly. You know, it just doesn't seem like there was any tank on it. Oh, and his
Oh
MGD.
no, he's in 1% structure. He MJD'd as well. The drones are too far away to start doing damage. So this is another 15-20 seconds that this drone travel time is going to be important. You have to remember that a big important thing in this as well is drone command range. If you can't lock that Gila from that far away, you cannot get it killed. But it's finally dropped down from the last of the Praetors reaching it, and the targets have finally swapped. I think they're going for the Cerberus of Celi Ania.
Yeah, you got to give these guys, Brotherhood of Spaces, an insane round of applause for like how well they've been doing with these MJD beacons, making sure that it takes as long as humanly possible, but you know, maybe trying to avoid the 100 loss, give themselves some a morale victory if nothing else. But it's not going to be important if they can't do enough damage to break through the tank of you know, that Neuros.
Yeah, they're just trying to shoot the Ishtar or the Vexen Navy, and it just doesn't seem to be working. They don't have the burst damage to get it down before they reload. Now there's only 50 seconds left with the Cerberus and the Keres left. Jesus Christ and Fenrir have to stay alive here.
I mean, yeah, in 40 seconds, I don't think there is actually. I think it's going to take a lot from of Sound Mind team to actually kill off everything. You know, it's going to take a couple of seconds for the drones to get to either of them, and even then, it can just activate an MGD and say nope to the damage.
But the Keres looks like it's just dying to, I believe, yeah, it's dying to Praetors.
Oh,
It was caught
that
up
is a
and
tragedy.
killed by Praetors.
Can this Serb survive for 10 seconds? Come on, can do it. I believe in you, man.
He has micro jumped into the middle of the team. Jesus Christ lives.
Jesus Christ. And on the second day, he was reborn.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't win the match, but
Jesus Christ did not die for his sins. I could keep going for hours. But that is a victory there of Sound Mind, heading into the first weekend of the AT now, whereas Brotherhood of Spaces are going to face a grueling task. They've got to win 3 more matches if they're to make it to the AT, to be one of 4 other teams that we'll see again.
And with that, we'll pass it back to the studio.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for that. That was a really exciting match. You know, Upside Mind kind of bringing a throwback team with a dual EO